So, hello and welcome to today's this morning's webinar on what's new with Net2. Okay. So what I'm going to do is to take you through the agenda, first of all, the things we'll be covering over the next 30 minutes. So to start off with, just going to be using or talking about the Net2 online and what's available through that. This will lead us onto the Paxton Connect admin app. Following that, just going to share with you some news on our web API. Going to visit Entry, just going to talk about the architecture behind Entry and then also introduce you to a new product. And then going to make you aware of the resources that we put online for online training sessions as well. Throughout the presentation, is going to ask for questions. I will just perhaps take the odd break just to see the questions coming through and try and answer them as we go. But all the questions are recorded. I'll stay around at the end of the session as well to answer a few more. All the questions are recorded, and then after the webinar, we'll send you a link and share with you the answers, perhaps on an FAQ document. Okay. So there should be, for those that just joining us, ask questions throughout this. There should be the questions tab within the audio bar. So if we look at Net2 online, Net2 online makes remote access to your system very simple and very flexible from any location and from any device. There's two prerequisites to have Net2 online. The first is you would need an internet connection, and secondly is that you must be using the Pro version of Net2. That's the Pro software version 6 and above. So this page allows you to remotely open hardwired doors. You can see on the graphic there that it will pull through from Net2 your most commonly used doors, as well as giving you a list of all your doors on the system. In the event of a fire alarm activation, you'll get an automatic roll call report. You can also mark users as safe in real time through this. Our users tab allows a great way of administering users remotely. Some of the functionality that you'll have on this screen is to be able to bar a user, for instance, or to change their access levels. In addition to this, you can add a user remotely. A couple of ways we can achieve this is by perhaps issuing a code remotely for one of our Prox keypads, or additionally, we can validate an invalid read from site and therefore issue a card and validate that card. So Net2 Online pulls through all the events from Net2. They're all system events, so that's effectively an audit trail of your system as to any changes that have been made, in addition to access granted, access denied, door forced alarms, and so on and so forth. Net2 Online also gives you the ability to run pre-saved reports as well as running new reports. So just a couple of questions there that have come in. Do I still need a PC on site? Ideally, yes. So Net2 Online gives you some reduced functionality for your day-to-day features, door open, roll call, and so on. The PC on site running Net2 would be used for all your commissioning of the doors and so on and so forth. All that commissioning and configuration that you would have done on install. So the Paxton Connect admin is our app available on both iOS and Android. This gives you the same functionality as Net2 online in an easy-to-use application. But in addition, the app will allow you to call a user directly from the app. So in the event of a roll call or in the event of evacuation, you can check the whereabouts of a colleague or staff member. The takeaways from those first two slides, the Net2 Online and the Paxton Connect admin app, the takeaways really are that you no longer have to be in front of the PC and add the software load up onto to achieve that sort of everyday functionality. So it can be done now remotely from any device and from any location. Okay, so what is an API? An applications programming interface. For those that have used our software development kit previously, you'll be pleased to know that we now have an API. This allows developers to interact with the Net2 system using development language such as C#, JavaScript, and C++, etc. This also means that we have a system-agnostic software development kit, which you can use on any platform, Windows, Mac, and Linux. This slide shows exactly what is offered on the API. But I will send the presentation to you at the end of the webinar. So for those that are interested in the programming side, allows you to review this. I will move on because it allows me to get onto safer ground, talking about product as well. So if we visit entry, just going to take a minute or two to perhaps remind some of you or to introduce to others that are listening in about the architecture behind entry, as this solution is a great add-on potentially to an access control system or to be used as an intercom system in its own right. Entry is made up of three components. These are a controller and panel per door, and then the required amount of monitors, stroke handsets. Entry uses IPv6 and PoE for comms and power. So the benefit of this is that the Paxton entry components automatically detect themselves, making installation very quick and easy. Paxton have got three panels in the range. All have a reader keypad and high definition camera built in as standard. So we have our standard panel. It's made from high density polycarbonate and is IK8 rated. Then have our random resistant panel. This is made from 3mm thick marine grade stainless steel and is IK10 rated. And then the top of the range is the touch panel. This has a dynamic touchscreen, which allows two-way video with one of our monitors. And this is IK7 rated with a chemically enhanced screen. So similar to the panels, Paxton have three monitors available. The audio monitor, which allows calls between the panels. This has been designed for easy to use and is aesthetically pleasing. We then have our standard panel, which allows video calls between panels. This can also be used in hands-free mode as well as available with privacy handset. And included within the features is the ability to have a video voicemail. Then top of the range is our premium monitor. This has a built-in concierge function, which allows calling and messaging to other monitors and gives the ability to announce calls to other monitors from, say, a concierge or reception station. For those familiar with our monitors, that you'll see there is a change in that graphic to the standard monitor, which I will talk to you about. So the Mark II standard monitor comes out in May, I believe it's May the 12th. And just to go through some of the features of this of the new monitor. So we've got a 4.3-inch LCD capacitive touchscreen. We've got a new onboard user interface. This also includes action buttons, which allows the operator to run triggers and actions whilst on a call. We've got improved audio within the unit. Got the inclusion of changeable background themes. It's compatible with the premium monitor once it's in concierge mode. And the unit's available either in a hands-free or with privacy handset. We'll take you just a quick sort of whistle-stop tour of the back of the monitor. So the inputs are as follows. We've got the PoE input to allow for power and data. Got a connection for T-loop line out. Got our hands-free port if you're using the one with the privacy handset. No, sorry, our handset port if you're using one with the privacy handset. Got relay out for such things as a sounder, input for a doorbell, and factory reset button. So just a couple of questions there that I've seen coming in just about the audio monitor. So how do you address the audio handset? Out the box as default, it's set as ID 0. To change it, if you used your Net2 entry config software, you can change the ID setting there. An eagle-eye viewer. So is there a new release of the iOS app? I noticed mine doesn't have the lockdown options, which was in the slide. So you will see a new version of the app coming in either the end of April or May, I believe, which will be version 6.03 with some additional functionality on there. Will we receive the presentation? Yep. So following the webinar, what we'll do is we'll get links out to you to share the presentation on that. So my next slide, if we looked at the entry solution, it is designed to be used in a wide range of applications. So for example, you may choose to use perhaps the vandal resistant panel or the touch panel on, say, the front entrance. Whilst on the back door, you may consider to use the standard panel. It's a slightly more cost-effective solution, or again, the vandal resistant panel, depending on the application. And internally, you may choose to use a mixture of the monitors we've got available, be it the audio, the standard, and the premium. And to pick on a couple of applications, if it was mixed residential, it may be that the audio monitor is perhaps used for affordable housing, whilst the standard or the premium may be used for things like the concierge or the privately owned housing. Similarly, in other applications, premium monitor sits nicely on reception, standard monitors throughout, but in your warehouse or goods in, an audio monitor can be added. And you can mix and match any of the monitors there. So question that's just come in, is entry SBD secured by design? Thank you for that. We have certainly the vandal resistant panel and the standard, I believe, are now secured by design. We will, following the presentation, we'll get the link out onto that, but that was, yes, some of the kit is now secured by design on that. So is there an output to attach a loudspeaker or bell when the monitor rings? Yeah, so on the couple of the inputs on the back of the audio monitor can be used for that as well. So just slightly ahead of schedule, and our final slide, just want to pick up on what we're doing with regards to our new training sessions. Certainly as people settle into new working routines. So we've moved all our training online. What I want to talk to you there is about the virtual training session. So what would have been face-to-face sessions with an instructor is now online, fully interactive with instructor-led live training sessions. These can be tailored to meet your requirements. So we'd ask you perhaps to get in touch with the training department to discuss that. We really do take the fundamental principles of our face-to-face and replicate these online there. And obviously it helps to get prepared for upcoming installations as well. I'm going to leave that slide on there with the email address which you can take down. I am going to stick around and answer some questions, but say keep them firing through. If I don't get to the question, they are all recorded, so we can send an FAQ document following the webinar this morning.